Hello folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to the Man Cave. So today's video is all about boots, not just any old boot, but a really nice boot from that Italian footwear manufacturer called Falco. And in the last 6 months I've been wearing this. This is their Rooster Boot. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and I'll tell you all that there is to know about this, the Rooster Boot from Falco. On a serious note though, in the UK there is no legislation covering what footwear you should be wearing when you're out and about on your motorcycle. The only thing that there's any reference to is under the highway code. It does say that you should wear a suitable boot. So a boot, a hiking boot, a working boot has got to be better than something like this. So you can see people, idiots, riding around on their motorcycles in the summer months with a very nice soft shoe, or a training shoe as we call it in the UK. Yeah, this is all very well, but if you're involved in an accident, this is normally the first thing to come off, resulting in potentially life-changing injuries. And also folks, just remember that if you're not wearing proper motorcycle boots, then if you seek compensation from the offending driver because you've sustained a foot injury, then any subsequent proceedings may result in you getting less compensation because you weren't wearing proper protective footwear. Something to think about. I'm a great believer in buying local, so I just popped into my local Falco dealer, which is my local BMW Triumph dealer, and the staff there were only too willing to help me and point me in the right direction as to which boot and size to go for. So I would say, yeah, try and help your local high street motorcycle shop out, and failing that, you can always go onto the internet. So here it is, and this is the Rooster Boot from the classic heritage range. Size wise, I'm normally a 42. However, when I went down and tried the boot on, surprise, surprise, I had to drop down a half a size. So for me, half a size less was a more comfortable fit. The 42 is just a little bit too loose, shall we say. So I've gone for EU size 41 or UK size 7.5. And that means I can wear a thin sock under here and also a slightly thicker sock when the weather gets a little bit cooler. So price wise, it cost me £174.99. So let's just talk about the specifications of the boot. So as we said, my boot is a European size 41, or good old money UK size 7.5. So I have dropped down half a size from my normal size. The boot itself is constructed from a full grain oil treated leather upper, and on the bottom of the boot we have a nice heavy duty rubber sole, and the sole is connected to the top part of the boot via this welt which runs all the way around the boot. In relation to extra paneling on the boot, so we've got sections here for your gear shift on the left boot and also on the right boot, and then we've got some extra paneling around the heel, as you can see here. And then branding wise, we've just got Falco Heritage written or stamped on the heel of the boot. In relation to stitching, all the panels are double stitched, and the only panel which isn't, if we just turn the boot over and have a look at the zip entry side, so this is the only section on the boot that doesn't have double stitching. Around the top of the boot we've got 5 sections here. They're all soft and squidgy. I guess that's just for comfort really, and that extends to the other side of the boot on the inside. And then this is a YKK zip, opens all the way down. We've got a Velcro tab on the top here, and then we've also got a tab on the back of the boot. So the boot itself has jumped through the regulatory hurdles for it to be sold as an approved motorcycle boot. So we have a look at the top of the boot here. We see a little label which has got the name of the boot on it, i.e. Rooster, CE, which means it's European approval thing, and then we've got a little person on a motorbike, and then EM 13634-2017, which is what it's been tested to, and level 2221 means it's passed the regulatory tests, and that's the score that it has received. So that's how we know that this boot is certified to be used as a motorcycle boot. And I've gone for 41 EU size, 7.5 in the UK. We have D30 or D30 cup inserts, so that's for impact resistance on the ankles. And then we've got some ABS plastic inserts in the toe and the heel. So you can see in the toe, they just extend to about there. So you can push them down but that just affords a bit of protection for the toe. And again, we've got those ABS resin inserts inserted on the heel to give you a bit of protection on the heel as well. And we're not just talking about these extra panels of leather here. The boot itself is actually waterproof, and it uses a High-Tex advanced membrane which comes up to about here. If we just open the boot up, undo the laces, and we'll see the membrane stops around here. And then you've got a gusset on the inside, a YKK zip, and then once you've done the zip up, you've got the flap, Velcro, job done. So it's a waterproof boot. However, I haven't walked in any rivers with it, so I can't make any comments, but my feet have never been wet in the few rain showers that I've actually been wearing these boots for. So if you've got any comments to make, please make them down below. This boot comes in two flavors. We have the brown flavor here or the black flavor here. Size wise, 39 through to 47, and Falco do actually market this as a gent's boot because it's based on the gent's foot. If needed, as there is a real welt all the way around the boot connecting the sole to the upper part of the boot, you should be able to replace the sole if it becomes worn. And I've looked on the internet, and for a pair of boots similar size, you can get the soles replaced for about £90 for the pair, but Falco do not offer that service. So the sole of the boot itself is actually quite flexible, and for that reason I don't think there is a shank in the sole, but it also means that the boot is fairly nice to walk in as well. Nice and comfortable. When it comes to putting the boots on, you do have to undo the laces and gain access to the boot via the undone laces and the zip entry down here. So yeah, you can't leave the laces done up. There's the right foot, there's the left boot, laces undone, zips undone, and that's a simple case of popping your foot in, doing the zip up. Sometimes the leather flap here just catches a little bit. I've noticed that from time to time. Put the tab across onto the Velcro, tie the laces up in a nice single bow or double bow, and there we go. And I think you have a stylish pair of boots. So problems wise, when I've taken the boot off, the only thing I've really noticed, there is a removable footbed in there. So when I have taken my foot out of the boot, sometimes the footbed just comes up a little bit, and then you've just got to force it back in. But yeah, removable footbed. You can get, I suppose, gel inserts if you wanted to, but yeah, they go back in really easily. But that's the only issue I've really had with the boot. In summary then, one of my final thoughts about the Rooster boot from Falco. Well, everything's going to be a little bit of a compromise between form, function and practicality. If you're doing some hardcore riding, touring, then they are my go-to boots for that. But just around where I live, I want something that is not like that, but something that still offers me a degree of protection, but is functional and looks fine as well. And these boots from Falco, I think, tick those boxes. Right from day one, they are comfortable, no braking period required, and either on the Triumph Speed Twin or the GS, I get good feel between the brake and the gear shift. So yeah, they do feel really good on the bike. And then when I'm off the bike walking, I've had no aches and pains with them, and I've had them now for about 6 months or so. And these are my go-to boot. So I haven't worn those for a little while actually. Yeah, these are my go-to boot, and I actually haven't cleaned them since I've had them in that 6 month period. If you've got a pair of these boots, you've had any problems with them, make any comments in the comment section down below, so folks who are looking at getting these boots can make their own mind up. But I bought these out of my own money, and I had some good advice from my local stockist of the Falco boots. So if you've got a local stockist in the area, pop in and have a chat with them. They'll be able to steer you in the right direction. But this sort of classic heritage boot, I think looks really stylish. I'm happy I got them. And that's it. I'm not going to waffle on anymore. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Do all that YouTube stuff. And we'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheerio for now.